Hello, I am Seema De from Tribhuvan Tissues Vidyapit. I teach English. I hope you all are well. Today we will read Act 3, Scene 3 from The Merchant of Venice. In this scene we will see that Antonio is helpless and trapped and is walking around in the streets of Venice bound by a jailer. Shylock takes delight at seeing him helpless. Antonio pleads for mercy, but Shylock is in no mood to listen to Antonio's pleas. Shylock insists that he wants his bond and nothing else. Antonio does not see any prospect of escaping. The Jew's merciless aims of Venetian laws approve of it. Antonio only hopes that Bassanio will be there with him in his final hour. So, in this scene, we are made to return to Venice. The scene begins in a street, Venice. Enter Shylock, Solanio, Antonio, and jailer. Shylock's speech is in the beginning. Shylock says, "Jailer, look to him. Tell not me of mercy." Look to him means guard him closely. This is the fool that lent out money gratis. Jailer, look to him. Money gratis means here lends money without interest. So Shylock had a grudge that Antonio used to give money to the people, lent money to the people without taking any interest. And Shylock says to the jailer, "Look to him." Antonio says, "Hear me yet, good Shylock." Antonio wanted Shylock to listen to him. Shylock says, "I will have my bond. Speak not against my bond. I have sworn an oath that I will have my bond." So Shylock here says that he only would have his bond and nothing else. He had sworn an oath and that he would have his bond. "Thou calledst me dog before thou hadst a cause, but since I am a dog, beware my fangs." So Shylock reminds Antonio that without any reason, Antonio called Shylock a dog. So he should be now aware of his fangs. Fangs means teeth. "The Duke shall grant me justice. I do wonder, thou naughty jailer." Naughty jailer means here the worthless jailer, that thou art so fond to come abroad with him to at his request. So here Shylock is very angry with the jailer and he says to the jailer that he was worthless and he was so foolish to bring Antonio outside the jail at his request. Antonio again says, "I pray thee, hear me speak." I pray thee means request you listen what I am saying. Shylock says, "I will have my bond. I will not hear thee speak." Thee speak means I will not hear you speak. I will have my bond and therefore speak no more. I will not be made a soft and dull-eyed fool. Dull-eyed fool means stupid fool. To shake the head, relent. To head, relent. Relent means to feel sorry. I will not feel sorry for you and sigh and yield to Christian intercessors. Yield to Christian intercessors means I will not give in to the Christian pleaders. So he mentions Antonio indirectly. "Follow not, I will have no speaking." So he said to Antonio that he should not follow Shylock. He would not have any kind of conversation with him. "I will have my bond." He insists that he would have his bond. At this moment, Solanio speaks. Solanio says, "It is the most impenetrable car that ever kept with men." Impenetrable car means hurtless dog. So Solanio says, means Shylock was just like a heartless dog and whoever lived among men. Hearing this, Antonio says, "Let him alone." That means leave him alone. "I will follow him no more with bootless prayers." Bootless prayers means useless appeals. "He seeks my life, his reason well I know." So Antonio said that he knew very well Shylock wanted to take away his life. "I oft delivered from his forfeitures many that have at times made moan to me." Made moan to me means appealed. So Antonio says that he knew very well why Shylock was angry with him, because Antonio very often rescued the people from the clutches of Shylock and helped them by lending money. So he hates me. So he knew Shylock hated him for that reason. Solanio again speaks, "I am sure the Duke will never grant this forfeiture to hold." Forfeiture to hold means never grant this penalty to be imposed. Hearing this, Antonio says, "The Duke cannot deny the course of law, for the commodity that strangers have." Commodity means rights. The rights that the strangers means here foreigners have with us in Venice. If it be denied, if that right is denied, then what will happen? Will much impeach the justice of the state. That means it will harm the justice of the state, since that the trade and profit of the city consisteth of all nations. So he wanted to mean that the trade and business transactions there in Venice was carried out by men of all nations. So therefore, go, these griefs and losses have so baited me. So he says, so you may go. These griefs means these tensions and losses have so baited me, means so affected me, that I shall hardly spare a pound of flesh tomorrow to my bloody creditor. To my bloody creditor means to the bloodthirsty creditor. That means he means Shylock. Well, jailer, on. On means let us go. Well, jailer, let us go. Pray God. That means here pray to God. Bassanio come. He is saying that he wants to pray to God that Bassanio might come to see him, how he was paying his debt, and then he would not care for anything else. So here we see that the wickedness of the Jew is in sharp contrast to noble Antonio. In this way the scene ends and Antonio exuent, meant they depart. So we will read the next scene the next day.